Welcome back to another Yellow Brick Road parent video. Today we are going to talk to you about emotion regulation with preschoolers. So we've touched a little bit on social stories and toddlers, but what happens when you're 3 and 4-year-old who can verbalize things? What happens when things are going on with them? And that's what we're going to talk to you about today. So first, we just like to acknowledge one thing that I say a lot when I had preschoolers and to my nephew and sometimes Kylie's kids is it's hard being 3 or it's hard being 4. And sometimes just acknowledging that, hey, it's really hard to, want to make choices and not be able to do all the things that you want to do physically or just, safely. And so today, Kylie's going to just really start by how to label their emotions and the zones of regulation, because when little bodies are dealing with big emotions, our favorite quote is, it's our job to be the calm, not join in the chaos. And so what happens that we see so often, I'm totally guilty of it too, but is they have a big emotion and then we have a big emotion back. And my grandparents used to say children should be seen and not heard, but that's really not the way of the world now. And so as much as I was told that, it never happened, obviously. And so let's give some other solutions and ways to handle those big emotions when it is hard to be 3 or 4. So Kylie, I'll let you talk about the first and most important kind of the foundation of it, and then I'll talk about some solutions that Kylie doesn't cover. So
great. So one of the big things, like Jessica was talking about, is labeling those emotions. And a lot of times for kids too, it's really helpful to have cues, things that they can actually see, pictures, things that they can touch and feel and point to. And so we really like to use what's the zones of regulations, and there's 4 of them. So there's green, yellow, blue, and red. Green zone is you're ready to learn, your body's engaged, you're happy, you're ready to go.
So green is go. Green is good.
Green is go. Green is good. Yellow is you're feeling a little wiggly, maybe a little frustrated, maybe a little anxious, which a lot of our kids might be feeling right now still. Blue is you're sad, you're lonely, you're blue.
Oh yeah, okay, you're blue.
And red is, those are our big anger moments. We're angry, we're mad, we're frustrated. And when we're in red, we are not ready to learn. We are
red means stop, right?
Right.
We
don't
learn those. Stop. It's not the teachable moments. It's not the time to talk it out.
Right. So it's really important. And in a lot of our classrooms, we actually have these posted up in the classrooms, and our kids will do zone check-ins throughout the day. So when they come in the morning, they get to go over to the board and use their little magnet picture and put what zone they're in at that time. Like if they come to school and it might be, I'm in green because I'm really excited because it's bike day, or I'm in blue because I'm sad that mommy had to drop me off, or I'm in yellow because I'm just, or it might be red. I'm in red right now because I didn't want to leave my toy in the car and I'm really mad about it. And that gives teachers a really good kind of starting point of where those children are walking into school from, and then they can talk to them about, okay, what are the things that we can do to get you into the green zone so that you're ready to go for the day and you're ready to learn and that you're happy and excited. So that's where Jess is going to talk to you guys about the things that we can do and some solutions based off of the different zones that the kids might be in.
Absolutely. And one thing that I kind of wanted to add on to that just is yellow used to be the hardest for kids to start to label. So we all kind of can feel angry, we all can feel happy, we know when we're sad. It's that nervous one, and I'm just touching on it right now because I feel like a lot of the kids kind of are tangoing in that yellow zone more than they normally are because of the added stress of the world. And so that's one thing that I know our classrooms now have kind of like those wiggly, frustrated, anxiously things we've kind of tried to work out a little bit more. And those are also the ones that, as I'm talking about solutions, you kind of have to fit it for a child. So one thing that when I was a preschool teacher, and it's easier with your own kids, and teachers have to figure it out for every individual child. But what does a green zone look like for your kid? What does a yellow zone look like for your kid? And how do you use the solutions? So some of your solutions are safe space for one, and that would be yellow, blue, red, right? That's where they're gonna wanna be by themselves. Another one is your calm down bucket. So a lot of kids who are in red really, there used to be, I don't know why I'm like talking about my grandparents today, but it used to be like kind of go to your room and think about what you've done. Well, 3 and 4-year-old children don't have the process to reflect. So them thinking about what they might have done is I hit my brother, 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 I hit my brother. They're not really in that, they're not able to self-reflect yet. It's not a skill they've learned. They're coming onto it, but it's not one they quite have yet at that age. And so it is the calm down bucket, going through their solutions. They might need to see a picture of taking turns, sharing, hugging a pillow, taking some space. They might need to actually physically see those. And on a lot of our lanyards, we have those solutions. I'm not obviously wearing a lanyard, but we have the things just to kind of give the kids that remembrance. Oh, you're in red. Here's our red solutions, our toolkits. Green's easy, right? The green means go, they're ready to learn. But sometimes that comes with big emotions too, that, hey, if you're in green, we're so excited, but maybe we need to, do some stretches or some jumping jacks before we sit down to learn, even though you're ready and you're happy. A fidget toy, those are other good ones. And again, a fidget toy, a lot of people used to see it as a distraction because they're fidgeting, but really if it's a child who really needs the fidget toy, it will be less of a distraction and more of a way for them to be connecting. Again, I love to talk about the neurons in our brain, so something for their hands to do while their brains learn. So those are just some examples of solutions. The other things I mentioned before is our social stories, doing as much as you can ahead of time. So we have a blog about that. Oh gosh, we had another one. Oh, your routine. We have a blog about routines, and having that set up routine will help kids stay in green. So check out our other parent videos. They kind of lead into this eating healthy. So we have an eating healthy video, like just making sure their bodies and minds are physically ready to go. And that's basically how you help your child label those emotions, know their zones of regulation, help them know their zones of regulations, and then have their solution kits. So thank you for joining us again today, and we will see you next time on our next parent video.